All right, welcome in. It's Monday, July the 27th. We've got 5 games here on the first 5 board that we're going to go over with you here today. That'll include Max Scherzer walking back onto a big lead mound in Washington. You've got the Yankees heading to the south side after getting run out of Philadelphia last night. You got Arizona rolling into Pittsburgh, Houston flying to Anaheim for a late game, and the Phillies are in South Beach. Hey, it's Raineri, WagerTalk.com. Let's dive into some of these games here. We're going to start with Mad Max and the Blue Jays at the Washington Nationals. And again, Max Scherzer, his last big league start came 47 days ago. Waiting for him is the best lineup in baseball against right-handed pitching now. Feels like it's been like that for a little while. And the market opened Toronto up at plus 112, rather, 115 through the first 5. Like it's, a normal Monday night, except there's nothing normal about Scherzer's ERA sitting at 10.23 over his 6 starts this year. And the underlying numbers say he hasn't been quite that bad, but even the friendliest version puts him in either the 6 ERA category or actually closer to 9. He's been down with back spasms. He's got 2 short minor league tune-ups in between. You got Washington countering with an opener, and then they'll give away to Andrew Alvarez as the bulk guy. And quite honestly, I'm not going to sell you on him either, because the numbers behind Alvarez and that 4.22 ERA, they're kind of split. One says, yeah, he's been a little bit worse, but the other says he's a little bit better. But the problem with him, like many of these young arms, is that he walks too many, gives too much traffic on the base pass. So why do I still want Washington in this spot? Well, because Toronto's bats have been absolutely horrific, especially against left-handed pitching over the last couple of weeks. They've scored under 3 runs a game. Alvarez, he can afford to put on a few runners here when the lineup he's facing can't make them pay for it. So Washington, they have been crushing it. One of the best lineups in baseball, especially against righties over the last couple of weeks. They're averaging about 6.5 runs a game. CJ Abrams, Dylan Cruz actually finally starting to hit the ball. And if I'm looking in the first 5, I want Washington on the money line. It opened up a minus 140. It's about minus 150, 155 right now. And still, to me, it's one of the best bets in the first 5 on the board here tonight. I'll take one of the best lineups right now going up against, a pitcher that seemingly has lost his best stuff a long, long time ago. So Washington, first 5, money line for me. All right, so let's talk Yankees at White Sox next, because the White Sox are sending out Noah Schultz against Max Fried here. And Yankees opened up minus 165 through the first 5, and that feels a little bit light once you put and compare these 2 pitchers side by side. You've got Fried sitting at just under a 3 ERA, and the underlying numbers say, listen, he's even better than that. He doesn't walk anybody, spent some time on the IL, but he looked great his last go. No reason to think he won't look just as good on a Monday in late July, especially against this White Sox team. Now, meanwhile, Schultz, 6.04 ERA, and I looked, but nothing underneath is going to rescue him here. He's been about that bad, and once again, the walks are a big reason why. He keeps putting runners on for free. Now, listen, the Yankees lineup is not a big talking point here, because they have been not great, especially against left-handed pitching lately. And they only scored about 3.5 runs a game last week. Meanwhile, Chicago did put up over 5 a game over the last 7 days, but that included a 12-run night against Houston. So while they're not helpless, their hitting against left-handed pitching has not been good at all. So I don't really Want to build anything on the White Sox getting to Fried here? We do have a cooler night in store. Rain is possible. The wind is blowing in from right field. Through 5, I'm going to take the better pitcher, and that is Max Fried here. Minus 160 price. That doesn't scare me off at all. I trust whatever is left of this Yankee lineup versus Schultz more than I trust the White Sox versus Max Fried. All right, we got a couple of more games coming up that I want to get to. I do want to invite you guys, of course, to hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, become part of the WagerTalk TV family. We certainly appreciate you taking the time to hang with us here tonight on this Monday. Can't believe that August is almost here. And by the way, huge opportunity tonight I'm going to tell you about coming up in just a minute. But first, let's talk about the Diamondbacks and the Pirates. Pittsburgh opened up minus 125 through the first 5. Mitch Keller on the mound. Across from him is a Diamondbacks lineup that has been just crushing right-handed pitching for about 2 weeks now. And that's the part that doesn't add up, though, because Keller sitting at a 4.9 ERA. He's already not good, and the numbers behind him, they're not great. He doesn't miss bats. He did throw 5 shutout innings his last time out against the Yankees, but like we discussed, that Yankees lineup isn't great right now. So I wouldn't mistake this for a trend. And I'm not going to pretend that Merrill Kelly for the Diamondbacks on the other side is going to answer any questions that we may have here, because his 5.12 ERA is ugly, and what's underneath is even uglier. So the difference is who's standing in the box against each of these pitchers right now. And Pittsburgh has not been great against righties. Number 20th, I believe, over the last couple of weeks against right-handed pitching. They've scored a little over 3 runs a game over the last 7 days. They're not exactly punishing even struggling arms here, but Arizona, they certainly are. One of the top 5 in baseball against right-handed pitching. Nearly 7 runs a game they've averaged over the last week. Moreno, Corbin Carroll finally starting to swing it well. You got a first 5 total opened up at 4.5, and I get the temptation here. It's probably sitting at 5 in some spots. But the run production in this game, it feels like might be one-sided, at least early on. And that's the side that I'd want to be on. Arizona, again, opened up at about even money in the first 5 money line. And yes, I know Merrill Kelly has not been great, but he has been decent in the month of July so far. So I'll take a shot with the better lineup at this price point anyway through the first 5. All right, 2 more games here, including the Astros taking on the Angels here. And the Angels opened up minus 108 at home through the first 5. Basically a coin flip game. Walbert Urena going for the Angels tonight against this Houston lineup. He's got a 2.78 ERA. Not exactly that good a pitcher. The underlying metrics put him closer to the mid-3s. Why? Once again, control, walks, free passes. And he's doing it at a rate that you just can't ignore. Now, his last outing looked really good on paper. 6 innings and 1 run. But that was against the St. Louis lineup that, let's face it, was terrible then, is still terrible right now. And Houston is bringing him out to the mound tonight with his 5.59 ERA. He's got the opposite problem. He's actually pitched better than that number. And it feels like he strikes out 1 or 2 guys every inning here. But the difference, the Astros offense. Now, they've only been middle of the pack against righties over the last 2 weeks. So they did put up nearly 6 a game over the last 7 days. Jeremy Pena, Yordan Alvarez are a big reason for that. And then you've got an Angels lineup that weak against right-handed pitching over the last 2 weeks, averaged just over 3 runs a game. And to me, that's the whole handicap here. A pitcher who walks people only gets hurt by a lineup that can do something with it. And this Houston lineup will absolutely do something with it. The Angels, they can't, and they haven't. So with Houston opening up a minus 114, 115 through the first 5, that's a good enough price point for me to back the Astros on the money line in the first 5. All right, we got one more game that I want to get to here, but before we do, want to tell you guys, got a 5% max bet up and available at my page at wagertalk.com, wt.buzz/JR. It is just my second 5% max bet of the season. Again, I don't put a lot of these out, guys, and when I do, it's for a reason. It's a 162 game grind per team, 30 teams, 162 games. I do not release a lot of these 5% max bets, but I could not help myself. The opportunity is presenting itself here. I love the price. I love this game, and I love this spot. Definitely worth the opportunity for a 5% max bet top play. You can go grab it right now, wt.buzz/JR. Hurry before the market decides to change its mind. This is a great opportunity to partner up here, guys, as well. Grab one of those all-access packages. Buy 3, get 3, 6 days of every play, every sport. A lot of opportunities here to start padding your bankroll because football season will be here before we know it. And it's these kinds of plays and this stretch in Major League Baseball season that really gives you guys an opportunity to head into college football and the NFL on a roll. So head over, wt.buzz/JR, grab that 5% max bet, and consider partnering up with me now for the rest of the way in Major League Baseball. Now we are going to head to the final game here, and that is with the Phillies, who are heading to South Beach, where Zach Wheeler will be in a dome against a Miami Marlins team that has lost, 12 straight. And Wheeler right now, 2.16. The underlying numbers have him a little bit closer to a 3, but he's still elite. He's missing bats at a big rate. Again, doesn't walk anybody. His last start, he went 7, gave up 2 earned, had 9 strikeouts. His team still lost, so the box score kind of sold that outing a little short. But meanwhile, Tyler Phillips going for the Marlins, 3.52 ERA, and that's a number that's making him look a lot better than what he has pitched like. His issue is the opposite, walks a lot. But I'll say this, he does keep the ball on the ground. He's only given up 2 home runs all season long in this ballpark here. He's got almost a 50% ground ball rate. Not a lot of damage. It's the walks that have been the problem. In Philadelphia, well, they have been one of the worst offenses in baseball against right-handed pitching over the last couple of weeks. Yes, they hung 11 on the Yankees last night, but they're only averaging under 5 runs a game for the last 7 days. And really, the 11 runs last night kind of padded that number here a little bit. Now, Miami, they're not any easier to trust offensively because, again, in addition to 12 straight losses, they have been really weak against right-handed pitching also over the last couple of weeks. They have averaged under 3 runs a game, especially during this losing streak. They just got swept by the Padres and everyone else, for that matter, that they have faced since the All-Star break. So I have 2 offenses that can't get out of their own way, and the best arm on the board is standing in front of them on one side. First 5 total is 4. I'll be taking the under first 5, 4 runs in this matchup here. Like that spot. Going to be maybe hard to get runs in this one here tonight. And that'll do it. There it is. 5 games, 5 first 5 angles. Hope you'll hit that like button and subscribe button, become part of this WagerTalk TV family. Certainly hope you'll consider partnering up. Go grab that 5% max bet play I have at my page right now at wagertalk.com, wt.buzz/JR. It's a good card here tonight. A lot of really good opportunities to jump in and get some great value on this board. One of the other reasons that partnering up here, guys, and being a part long-term is the way to go in Major League Baseball here. It is a grind. Not every card, not every slate has the kind of value that this has here tonight. So head over, grab that 5%, consider partnering up long-term, and make sure you come back and join us again tomorrow as we'll have another edition of First 5 here on Wager Talk TV. Best of luck, guys. We'll see you again tomorrow here.